Hey guys, today we're playing Call of Duty Classic on the PlayStation 3. This is actually just Call of Duty. They call it Classic for reasons unknown. This is the first Call of Duty game to come out. This is also available on the Xbox Live Arcade. This is obviously the PlayStation Network version. There is no store version you can buy for the consoles. If you have means to play the PC version, it is superior with mouse and keyboard controls. For whatever reason in this game, at least the PlayStation 3 version, you really can't bind the controls, so you have to use PlayStation spongy trigger buttons to aim and fire, which is a pet peeve for me. And I feel like you should be able to switch the controls. I feel like every console game, unless it's like it needs analog control or something like that, that I feel like it should be standard and required to be able to bind any button that you want to on a console game. But that is my personal opinion. But I'm getting sick of. It's usually with older games. Seems like with newer games they learned their lesson, because, like with the original BioShock on PlayStation 3, you couldn't change any of the control settings really, and it's just ridiculous. I feel like that should be standard. But I'm gonna resume the game. I'm not gonna start from the beginning because we don't need to go through basic training. But I'd show you the PC version, which I have. But first of all, it doesn't run at full resolution on Windows 7 unless I do modifications and stuff like that, and our download patches. I don't feel like dealing with it. And second of all, I don't have the booklet to put in the key, which I'm sure there's ways around that too, but it's just easier to play this version. So we're playing the PlayStation 3 version. How about that? This runs on the Quake 3 Arena. This was before the Unreal 3 Arena. Sorry, this runs on the Quake 3 Arena engine, which most games around the 1999 time period did. It's actually standard for a lot of games for a long time. You see, this game doesn't have the recharging health. You have to get health packs. To me, this was well, before I get started, there is a amazing PC game before this, Medal of Honor Allied Assault. It was the first Medal of Honor PC game, and it was fantastic. It was years beyond the what the consoles had. It was way better than Medal of Honor Frontline. They should have just found a way to port it to the PlayStation 2 and their Xbox. I know they could do it because they did it with Wolfenstein. If they had to make some cuts, so be it. But the people that made that basically went off and made the Call of Duty games. And they did come out with a true sequel, and I think it's a good game. It didn't get the best reviews. It got like 7s or whatnot, but I don't think most people's hardware at the time could handle it, and I didn't play it till way later because I didn't have the fanciest hardware in the world. I hate the way this weapon system's set up. You can see this is older school style, as you can hold more than 2 weapons. I had that shitty M1 carbine, and it's a piece of crap. You might as well be shooting Nazis with a BB gun with that one. But yeah, there was a sequel to Medal of Honor Allied Assault, and it was Medal of Honor Pacific Assault. We're in the Pacific Theater fighting the Japanese, and I thought it was a great game. I mean, I know it's supposed to take place in the jungle, and there was a lot of foliage, but it was extremely linear, which made Medal of Honor Allied Assault in some ways so great, is that the levels were more open-ended, which were still linear, but like the spaces you walked in, the areas that you fought and stuff, were like this, except usually there's more stuff going on, but this is of course the first level. Alright, I'm going the wrong way. Well, Medal of Honor Pacific Assault was literally like being on a trail. A very narrow trail, but I still really liked it. But to me, this is the real sequel of Medal of Honor Allied Assault. And then Call of Duty 2 came out, and that was fantastic. That's probably my favorite Call of Duty of all time, is the second one. Which is a shame it never got a PlayStation 3 port, but I have it on PC. And if you have a PC 10 years old, you can still play the damn thing. But I started to lose. I still like the Call of Duty games, not as much as, say, the Battlefield games, because I like the destructible environments. If Call of Duty can come out with that same kind of degree of physics and vehicles and destructible environments, it might be up there. But that's why I like the Battlefield games more. But I do like the Call of Duty games more, but I did lose slight interest in the Call of Duty games when they started to go to modern times. And now with Black Ops 2, now they're starting to go into the future a little bit. And I just like World War II games. I know everybody else is sick of them, but I still enjoy them. Which I hope that they come out with a Brother in Arms game at some point.
Alright, guys,
they're coming out with that Furious 4 game that was supposed to be more action oriented, which was stupid. Gearbox was, and
let's go.
They decided to change the series, but I wouldn't have probably liked it anyway if it was action based, because I like, I guess, somewhat realism. This game's far from realistic.
MG42s, hit the dirt.
But they were going to change everything in Brothers in Arms. They were eventually going to come out with a proper sequel, but I'm pushing the wrong buttons, if you might notice. I'm playing this without sound. Any sound that I hear is out of sync from my laptop. Remember Allied Assault? Somebody had a machine gun. If you didn't get them right there, they're pretty screwed. This game's a little bit more lenient with machine guns. Brothers in Arms kind of brought that brutality back. Although the third Brothers in Arms game to come out, Hell's Highway, was a little bit more lenient with regenerating health, but towards the end of the game it's still tough as nails, because when you start going up against tanks, it gets pretty difficult. And I do like the Sniper Elite games that are World War II based as well. They're hardly realistic when it comes to being shot and stuff, because you can hide, but you can die pretty quickly on it. And it does have, if you decide to pick, realistic bullet physics, so the bullets actually drop the farther they go. Gosh, I am pushing all the wrong buttons here. Since I've had an Xbox 360, one thing that, gosh, how I keep on trying to jump, and I'm pushing the wrong buttons over and over again, because it's just not, the controls are just so different. I guess you just pick those up automatically. I haven't played this game in quite some time, and I'm used to playing all the modern first-person shooters that come out, so then I have to basically retrain myself how to play everything. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, since Halo doesn't have an iron sights view, I've been getting better at being able to shoot without actually having to aim. Like, I guess I would call it shooting at the hip. Oh, fuck. But, yeah, that's actually been helpful, even though I find it annoying you can't aim through your sights on Halo unless you have some sort of scoped gun. He didn't even react from that. Good old-fashioned reactions there. One thing that was special about these PC World War II games versus like Medal of Honor, the first ones on the PlayStation 1, is you're fighting with multiple people. I think the most you ever fought with on the PlayStation 1 World War II games is one other person on Medal of Honor Underground. And that game really pushed the system.
Take the left flank. Clear that building.
Because there was times where that game, you could tell it wasn't meant to do half of the stuff that you were doing on the game, because it would suffer from extreme slowdown at certain parts, which for a console game tends to be rare. The only other game I saw it suffer from slowdown that bad on a PlayStation 1 game was Sim Theme Park, when you made your roller coasters too big. There's too much going on the screen at one time and slow down. But that kind of stuff, I guess, doesn't bother me too much, because I've never had a top of the line computer. Usually if I've ever played a game at the highest settings, it's because I got a computer when the game was old, and then I could finally see what it was like at the highest settings. But that's, again, what I've said in other videos, I prefer console gaming. It's just it's a more affordable and enjoyable experience for me. I don't like the stress out computer specs. Sometimes it's nice to play with a mouse and keyboard, but I hate getting a game and bringing it home and it might not even run the first time. You gotta wait for a patch to come out, or your computer's just not good enough until you invest more money into it. And that'll happen within 2 years of you owning the computer, unless you get a super expensive top of the line computer, which is way out of my range. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to shoot you. If you shoot your guys too much in this game, the game will make you die permanently, but I believe that happens still in the newer Call of Duty games. There's supposed to be some World War II game that runs on the Crysis, or the Crytek 3 engine, CryEngine 3 engine. Was that an M1 Garand? That's my favorite weapon in the World War II games. It only holds 8 bullets. Most games you aren't able to reload it, but it packs a punch and it's semi-automatic. I like it very much. Brothers in Arms supposed to be super realistic, but that one you can reload it. I don't know if you can reload it in real life or not. I never had one. Haven't had much experience shooting guns. The only gun I've ever shot in my life is a .22 rifle. The only people I've gotten to ask anything about M1 Garands are old World War II veterans and people that were around during the Korean and Vietnam War, because even if, like, Vietnam, they weren't in service a lot of times, they would use those guns for training. Shit. I forgot, how do I switch this bastard gun to automatic? There has to be a way to oh, that's it. See, that's one thing I don't like. In order to switch the firing buttons, instead of using the digital pad, which would be ideal, you have to push in the analog sticks, but the PlayStation 3's analog sticks are so sensitive that, well, thank you. I love cemeteries. Even that simple one kind of gives me a warm, tingly feeling. Why cemeteries give me a warm, tingly feeling is beyond me. Wow, I missed you pretty bad. If you go on my DeviantArt page, you can tell that I really like one of the local cemeteries here, Hollywood Cemetery. It's just perfect for taking photos. Sorry I'm saying a lot. It's an easy way to buy myself time to say something. How do you survive that, man? I'm not even gonna shoot you with looking through the sights. It looks like there's some sort of bullet physics in this game because it looked like the gun shot right through the guy, unless that was just a coincidence. Which it could have been. How do I get over there? These levels can get maze-like at times. But anyway, I was saying you talk to veterans. I just heard one say you can't reload it, but then on some games you can reload it. So I think you can reload it, but it's just super hard. But
Martin, plant your
looking
explosives
for
and
a
take that
glowing
block
marker
panzer out.
on this.
Stand back! Fire in the hole!
Well, let me stand back.
Okay, move! Take
Well, that was close. That gun looks intense.
Hey, cover me!
Go prone.
Go, go, go! Covering
I'm gonna play shooting gallery with these guys. Oh shit. You know, playing this game aside the controls and the regenerating health, and obviously the graphical upgrades, you know, there hasn't been much that's changed in first-person shooters, especially Call of Duty games. The AI maybe has gotten a little bit better, but not really, and that's bad. Battlefield 2 and not Battlefield 2, I mean Battlefield 3 and Battlefield Bad Company 2, and to some extent Battlefield 1943 kind of feel different. This kind of feels similar to a lot of the first person shooters of today, which is weird. It is different though, the grab health.
Stand back! Fire in the hole!
Even BioShock
One more! Get your butt moving!
Infinite, I hope I said that correctly for you guys. I've been giving it a hard time because of my accent, but I really can't hear like the difference and the differences in the ways to pronounce a word or whatever, because it's just how we talk from where I'm from, so it's hard for me to hear the differences. I heard you lose that ability at age 2. A child's actually able to pick up any like sound possible, to be able to emulate any language, to learn and to speak. So it's good to teach our kids at a young age different languages if you can. But I heard after age 2, your brain goes through a pruning process and you can't pick up on certain vowel sounds and different sounds and languages that you normally can't pick up. That's why if somebody learns a different language, they always have an accent, because they won't fully hear and understand the language like somebody who natively speaks it. And if my grammar is really terrible describing that, I apologize, because I cannot walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. Sometimes I watch these videos and cringe at how bad like my speech and choice of words are, like when I play these games. It's just like a 2-year-old's art. Somebody who's severely undereducated. And it really shouldn't matter, but it's just like, you know that everybody's gonna see it and nobody knows you, so they're gonna automatically think that you're that way because that's the only thing that they see. I know you're not supposed to care what other people think, but deep down inside I think everybody does to a certain extent. or at least most people.
Move it!
There's always an exception. And those people are usually in prison. Look at you going nuts with that.
Martin, explosives, go! Stand back! Fire in the hole! I want an aid station over here. Clear up. Clear down.
Alright. Is this level done yet? This level's
All
been
right, fellas.
dragging.
Take 5, but listen up. We'll hold this place till reinforced.
Textures
This is
are pretty
just one
good.
tiny village in a war
I can't remember what that CryEngine 3 game is that's supposed to
For
take
those of
place
you
in
who've
World
seen
War
your first
II,
action,
and it's supposed to be a
welcome to the
spiritual
big time.
successor to the game
For those of you
Black.
who've seen it before, trust me.
But I really
you
want
ain't
to
seen
play it,
nothing yet.
but I
We'll redeploy those German
forgot what
machine guns,
issue of
setting
Game
up
Informer
defensive
it's in, so I
perimeter.
can't even look it
Keep
up.
your guard up and your
I could, I
buddies in
guess, look
mind.
up CryEngine on
Good work.
Wikipedia. Now that they announced the new systems, though, who knows if it'll be cancelled. But that was Call of Duty Classic on the PlayStation 3, also available on the Xbox Live Arcade. If I were you, and you had the means, pretty much anybody who has a PC that can watch a YouTube video can basically run Call of Duty 1 on their PC. I suggest you play it on that, and the sound's a lot better on that too for some reason. But the only thing I worry is if your operating system is compatible, but I'm sure there's a bunch of forums. That's why it was kind of a pain in the ass to play the PC version. But I'm sure you can probably get it off of like Steam or something. I don't know. I haven't really looked, but more than likely. But thank you guys for watching, and take care. Bye.